Wow, you are seeing the face of a defeated man. That's me. I don't know. He's not feeling defeated, but hey, Twitter world, it's Yusuf here. YusofPlays, as you know me. If you're a fan of my YouTube channel, we are here. We are here to discuss the Nintendo Wii, and joined by me is one of my best friends in the world and my oldest friend, Demir. And we are here to discuss his immaculate Wii collection. We have been doing so for the past hour, in fact. It turns out that we were not recording.
The fucking jelly bean!
And my phone died. I don't know how. Went from 80%. It's not like I have an iPhone 3 or something like that. But my shit tanked. And we were just, just bloviating for an hour, if that's the word.
Wrong!
Bloviate.
About your collection. We only got halfway through, pretty much.
Maybe a little over half, but
maybe a little over half.
Sorry.
So we will be more judicious. We will be much more. We will be much more brief in our descriptions.
I think
that might be better for the audience.
This will be a better take, probably. So
yeah. I like to go long.
Yeah, and I like the long form too. I'm the biggest fan of this channel than anybody else watching currently.
Yeah.
But what I did like what we did the first time is we kind of gave some context. So you were talking about your history with the console.
Yes. Let's go through this quickly. So 3 quick comments before we start non-video game related. 1, I'm sick of the fake amateurs. I'm just going to get over this quickly because this has to be said. So if you watch any YouTube video these days that has, millions of subscribers, everybody's doing like presenting a serious subject like cooking or video games or whatever, but they leave in the goofy takes to be like, I'm just like you. I don't care how people perceive me. I'm authentic.
Okay, look at this fun feta dip.
Garbage. You're lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to your audience. You think your audience is stupid enough, and many of them are, but not me. You can't fool me.
Fool me once. Shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
You are doing a fake authenticity, which is more disgusting than an attempt at real authenticity that you fail at. This is like a nonsensical, like, I'm just like a little TV hee cook, I'm just, oops, I put in too much salt. Like, I'm so relatable. No, respect your audience. Either be a professional or do it like the real amateurs, which is this production. This is real amateur shit. This is real underground shit.
Never more authentic.
You're no artist. An artist respects the silence. It serves as the foundation of creativity.
This is completely authentic. This is just completely off the cuff. This is so authentic that we just did an hour without even recording it on accident because we're so dumb.
Right.
Me. He's a brilliant man, but I'm so stupid that I just did an hour of talking without it even being recorded.
And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker.
So shout out to no shout out to the fake amateurs. Shout out to the real amateurs out there. And secondly, I think it's funny that both you and my director, Amy, who's a talented, studied under Spielberg, studied under Cassavetes, all the greats. You both wanted to professionalize this channel, but the spirit of this is amateurism. Hey everyone, Yusuf here. I just wanted to drop in and give a PSA to say that at this point I stopped putting in funny video clips, mainly because it was incredibly tedious and a complete fucking waste of my time. So if you weren't enjoying them, I apologize. And if not, you're welcome. And secondarily, I wanted to address the fact that I'm wearing nearly the identical outfit I was in the video, even though that was shot a few days ago. I did laundry, but in the interest of accuracy and honesty, my mom did laundry. So I just wanted to say that there's still funny stuff. There's still occasional funny clips. So stay tuned for Demir and I's conversation about his wonderful Wii collection. And thanks for watching. Absolutely. And I'm honored to have my only fan, not like that, my only, the only fan of my channel on this. So I'm not only cutting out my audience, I'm bringing them in so that I have no audience. The only audience is now in the videos. So he doesn't need to watch it, he's in it.
I'll still watch it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we're here and we're discussing a very specific console. This video will only have games from the Nintendo Wii because you have a beautiful and immaculate Wii collection that is quite impressive. I have many of these games and I'm an avid collector, but you have even more. He's gone Super Saiyan 3. He's gone even further beyond. Shout out to a friend of the show, Goku. And
he's on the 4th episode.
Yeah, he'll be on the next episode. I try to get him to come and talk about his Amiga collection. But,
no, he has a Poppets.
He actually only collects Dragon Ball games.
Funny enough.
Yeah, weirdly, he's a big fan of himself. So you've gone even further beyond, and you just have an incredible Wii collection that you've done us a great service by bringing here. So we're going to talk about games sort of sorted by vibe. Not necessarily any particular publisher, though there are some relationships between the piles here. Yeah. But
we'll explain as we go why they're grouped more or less. But it's I think most of them is stuff that you also like. Some of them are more things that I'm interested in, but I'll give context why I purchased it. And then he'll give his take. We'll just ad lib like that. Yeah.
You have some wonderful curios, you have some wonderful, more obscure titles, and you of course have the big hitters. So it's going to be a great discussion here. And most of all, I want to discuss why the Wii.
Right. So the Wii, for me, probably like anybody else who likes Xbox or PC games, that's their number one console. It's mine because it was my first console. The first one, I got more than 2 games for. And that's because I wasn't allowed video game consoles before the 2009. My parents never wanted me to have them because they were worried it'd be distracting, addicting. And they were right.
They were right.
But
here we are.
I'm an adult now, so I can make my own purchase decisions.
We can make our own bad decisions now.
Yeah. But also, the reason is twofold, because there's that, and I think it's an underrated system. I think people have correct opinions about how it's low powered and how the gimmick of the motion controls is, ever present. I don't disagree with all that, but I just like it more than they do. I think the graphics and just some of the art styles in the games, because they're family-friendly kiddie, are much better than, of the era, which are brown shooters from, PS3 and Xbox 360 era. So
definitely hold up much better than that
so,
era of games.
And I think as we kind of went over in the first hour that we didn't record it, that there's a lot of variety here with the developers and the publishers and the collab of and developers. Yeah. And it's cool. So we're gonna get into that. Yeah. So that's why I love the Wii. And I think the best way to start it off is to show a certain set of games that use the Wii technology. Yeah. So the first one is this Link's Crossbow Training. I don't know how many games I had bought before I got this specific one, but I remember my dad came home and he was saying oh, that'd be cool to add to the Wii. And my dad's a Turkish immigrant. He would never say that we need to add anything to the Wii. So it was amazing that he wanted this, because I think he was just interested that there's a gun adapter for, the Wii, because I think he was only thinking Wii Sports. That was the only thing that could happen for it. So it was a cool iteration, and I agree. We were talking about this in the first attempt of this, but this is such a great, it didn't expand anything for Twilight Princess. If anything, it just took vignettes of levels and they just made it into an arcade, shooter, like a dart game almost. But you're running around with Link and he has a crossbow. Certain levels are a little more free roam in a third person style. It was the first Zelda game that I ever played, actually, which is also crazy. Weird. Yeah. Before I actually played Twilight Princess, which was my actual first Zelda game, this is the one I played. And the only reason I played Twilight Princess is because I played Link's Crossbow Training. So, shout out to Link's Crossbow Training. And I'll show this because I did this. I love the blue icons. So you see the Wii Zapper there, it's legit. Yeah. I love that.
No, I used to really love this game, and Twilight Princess was not my first Zelda. That would be, I believe, Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance. But Twilight Princess is my favorite, tied with Breath of the Wild. I have the most nostalgia for it. I remember, I love the Wii as well. I made my dad. It was one of my first consoles. My dad stood in line for hours at Toys R Us to get me one. Shout out to him. And it got Twilight Princess and Sonic and the whatever Fire Rings or something like that. Where he's in Saudi Arabia, and Sonic meets Jamal Khashoggi, and the adventure gets stranger from there.
Dude, this is the new era of racism. I need that racism. I like it. I like it. If that's racist, let me get more of that. Facts.
But this was a really interesting sort of side adventure. Zelda didn't do this back then. There wasn't like non-mainline big adventure Zelda games like there is now. But this was a really fantastic arcade type shooter. Something that you could generally only play in the arcades with light guns brought to the home, and that was wonderful and not something that they do anymore. But this could ostensibly work on Switch if they wanted to port it. The IR sensor.
The IR sensor is
not as good.
Is there an IR sensor on the Switch? It's just in the right controller.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. They only use gyro for any motion control in the Switch system, which is too bad because it'll just never work as well as this, which is like based on 3 points in a XYZ space.
Right.
They'll never do that with gyro.
Right.
So it works okay.
Yeah.
The technology is better than the Wii gyro, but it's not as good as IR.
Yeah.
In fact.
Great game, though.
Great game.
We'll be fast. We said we were going to be faster. So.
Yeah. Because we were taking way too long.
Yeah.
So here.
Weird that you own these.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I agree. But I picked these up because back in the year 2010, all that, this was the hot stuff.
Right.
Like if you owned a 360, you would be getting online, you'd go to friends' houses, you'd play like couch co-op or maybe just arenas together. This is what you wanted to own because they just weren't cool. The only Call of Duty I played before Modern Warfare 2 or 1 at my friends' houses was Big Red 1, which is Call of Duty 2 at Tim White's house always, and it was on PC, which I was like, okay, cool. I don't know how I don't know. It's too violent for me. Yeah. So now here I am 20 years later basically, and I'm I'm interested. I'm interested in what's going on, and it's bad.
Yeah.
This is not good.
It's not the way to play.
No. But this one, according to forums online, say that this one is actually good. And it's because if you look here, it says Reflex Edition. And also, it's Wii Zapper compatible. And the Reflex Edition is basically, this is a port of Modern Warfare 1 that came out the same day as Modern Warfare 2 came out for everything else. And they had been working on developing this Modern Warfare 1 optimized for Wii because this one didn't do it right, and this was rectifying that. So that's cool. I haven't played it yet. This literally just came in the mail today.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I have really good memories of both these games despite not being a Call of Duty player. I played this the hell out at my childhood friend Matthew Fear's place. This and Halo 3. Shout out to Matthew Fear. And then this I played the entire campaign and zombies on a laptop that we took from my cousin in Iran off of a burned CD in a illegal video game store. So both of these, the only 2 Call of Duty games I ever played. That was the era. Now, no.
Yeah. This one.
Yes.
Sin and Punishment. I just played this a couple months ago for the first time. This is a fantastic rail shooter.
Great game.
Made by Nintendo first party, and also by, what was it?
This is by Treasure.
Treasure.
Who was classic. They're trying to get back together, I think, but all of the best shmups, Ikaruga, Radiant Silvergun. In my last video, I showed Ikaruga. Yeah. And Radiant Silvergun I have pre-ordered from Limited.
That's a nice special edition, right?
Yeah.
Well, this one is fantastic. It's a rail shooter because you don't control your character, except in a set, speed and direction.
You can move around on the screen.
But it's like Ikaruga and all Treasure games because it's more of a bullet hell than it is a rail shooter. Right. But it's fantastic. I mean, it's such a pretty game. Doesn't have super great. I think the mouth it just looks like this, the mouth animations, whatever. I'm just talking about how the
environments.
The environments are really what they're focusing on, and it delivers amazing, super complex, orgasmic, and the level progression just goes from a little difficult to I can't believe I'm playing this right now. You die a lot. I don't know my death count, but it's very high. Yeah. Recommend this game.
Yeah, recommend this and Alter. I mean, look at this cover art.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
It's so cool.
Sick.
You wouldn't think it's first party. Yeah. Another very good rail shooter. This, only reason I got this is because they were saying that this is extremely underrated. And I played a couple hours of this. It's like a chapter-based story mode. It can be 2-player with the Wii Zapper, so I have 2 Wii Zappers to play with friends. It is super fun. It's not as like high fidelity as like the 360 Dead Space, and it's also not like the normal Dead Space because it's a rail shooter.
Yeah.
But it's still the same universe and characters and the weapons, which are also iconic. So I think people would be very happy if they were to play this, and you just have to get past all the like shortcomings of the system. But yeah, good entry into Dead Space, and I'm glad I got it. It's also not that cheap either, but I got it for a decent price, I think.
I have this too. I definitely need to play the Dead Space remake on PS5.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'll put these together. We have this 007 Quantum Solace with the Wii Zapper. That's why I got this game, actually, because I played Link's Crossbow Training, and I wanted a different a different Wii Zapper game. And I think I just walked into GameStop or something once. I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm going to get this. And he's like, okay, fine, because we watched James Bond. It's a good franchise.
Yeah.
And
but this is one of the worst James Bonds movies. I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
It's one of the worst movies. No one knows what Quantum Solace even means still. And the game is not great. It's just a licensed video game.
Yeah.
It's just 1-to-1 for the movie, except they have to extrapolate missions that like aren't that fun. And the other funny story about this is that I went into the online, because if you see in the top top left corner, it says Wi-Fi. Yeah. So there were online lobbies, and I went into it this is probably like the year 2011 or 2012, and I thought I was the only person in this lobby. The fact that it let me in was crazy, but the only reason that I got into a lobby is because there was one other person. The only other person ever to exist in that game online. And we shot each other a couple times, and then he left, and then I realized I was truly the last one. So then I got off, and I never went back on, and it's probably dead. So anyway, that game's not great, but I played it. This one is allegedly very bad, but the N64 GoldenEye is really good. That's why I bought this. I'm really curious. Compatible with like every form of control for the Wii, which is cool. And this was expensive. If this label says it was $44.99, I got it for like $7. So
people thought that this was going to be like the return of GoldenEye, the return of James Bond local multiplayer. It was not, and I mean, but you own this from like when you bought it in the store when
I got this like around the time that it came out.
The guy in the lobby was like the Japanese guy who stayed on the island thinking that World War II wasn't over. And, he finally saw you and he was like, okay, it's time to dip out. The war's over.
The war's over. Yeah. These are in this category of games just because it's this was a launch title. It was really cool. It's not the prettiest game because it's made in like literally 06 or 07. But yeah, it's a really good demonstration of the tech, except that it didn't do it that well. This one did. And what's funny is this was 4 players because they wanted people to get together as friends and do some couch co-op, I guess. This one was just like, okay, this is Wii Motion Plus. It works better. And we realized people don't really need to play together to make the best experience out of this. So we'll just make it a 1-player game. And you said it's like cell shaded, and
I like the art style definitely more.
So the studio was getting a little more confident in themselves and like understanding how to use the Wii and to make a better game. So I'm excited to play this one more. I'll probably try to finish this before I ever attempt this, just because I like to be thorough. But
are they connected in any way?
I don't know. No idea.
I mean, Red Steel was what the promise of the Wii was. Like, you can like have a gun, you can have a sword, like you can do 1-to-1 motion, you can be flailing your arm around. That did not pan out. But I remember this was like, look, we're doing third-party support, unlike the GameCube. Like we got Ubisoft on board, and it was just like a total disaster. And this was like not a very good game, but I think they redeemed themselves with this, and I'd love to check this out. I'm definitely gonna actually pick this up. Pretty soon. Red Steel 2.
Yeah,
sick.
Red Steel 2 allegedly very
Cowboy Ninja Samurai. That's your 12-year-old self is going crazy.
Yeah. Go off. Okay. This is a licensed game. LucasArts, Force Unleashed 2. I played the first one on the Wii. a lot. I played it all the way through and the New Game Plus because it just kept getting fun. That's because I'm a really big Star Wars fan. And this was the first, like, the Force Unleashed franchise is the first time they ever made, like, Jedis this, like, super potent, action hero, not just, like, space wizards running around doing investigative or diplomacy work. I mean, I don't know.
There should be a Star Wars game where you just do like trading disputes. You settle trading disputes as a Jedi.
I'm not interested. I mean, I'm sure that probably existed in like little sections of like KOTOR or something like that. I don't know. All I'm saying is this was really cool because it basically like blew the lid wide open on like Jedi Force abilities, which at the time I don't think it was really going on. Like Darth Vader was the most powerful thing. Nah. This guy was crazy.
Now in every Star Wars game, you can like destroy the world as a Jedi.
Yeah, every Jedi's OP at this point, but he was the first, so he was cool.
I want to shout out our director, who's not directing this episode, but she got a Darth Vader debit card so that people would be like, "Oh, you're a big Star Wars fan." And she's like, "No, I like Star Trek," and they'd just be confused. I think that's quite funny.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. This is admittedly my most expensive Wii game. I got this in like 2019 because I go through like waves of like I want to buy more games to finish out the collection. At the time, this was the one I got because I had income, and right now I don't because I'm a student. But like this was like really cool to pick up. This is the special edition, which it just has the sleeve, and this is supposed to emulate a book.
Beautiful. It's a great collector's edition.
Yes. Yeah. And boring case cover, but it's in great condition. Comes with manual and disc. And the special edition mainly that I care about is this art book, which has character design kind of like drawn at multiple angles and showing their like height and bios, stuff like that. And then a couple concept arts, which I love. I love that in games.
I don't really remember many special edition Wii games. It's sort of, I feel like, a rarity.
Yeah. Other than like this, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I couldn't really tell you. I'm also noticing, so this is one player, but you can play it with other controllers. I recommend playing it with like a classic controller, not necessarily motion controls.
Yeah.
And then this also had online lobbies at the time. So you could do like little arena battles, which is cool. But yeah, and also Yusuf knows about this more than I do, but like the developer is one of the people who left the Final Fantasy franchise, and he was like, I want to make my own game. And it's very much in that line of like JRPG, epic storyline, kind of like fantasy, sci-fi mixture, very Japanese. That's all I can say. But it's great. It was regionalized and people love it. And it, it's akin to like Xenoblade.
Right. Well, I believe it was Hironobu Sakaguchi, who's the creator of Final Fantasy, though that maybe the composer. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But he, left Square and was like, I'm just gonna go make my own series. And this was part of 3 Wii games that were Japan only, including Xenoblade and another game called Pandora's Tower. And there was just a fan outcry for translations of the games to be brought to America. So this Pandora's Tower and Xenoblade were then ported or brought over to North American and European territories, and all failed disastrously. Nobody bought them except those people who were begging, and maybe some of them didn't even buy them. But Xenoblade is still shockingly around. But Last Story and Pandora's Tower have not gotten any more, though Sakaguchi is still making games. But he made a mobile game that's like his return to sort of the Final Fantasy vibe. I think they'll be porting that to Switch at some point. But yeah, pretty cool. Nice.
This was a special one. At the time, this was the latest Wii game that ever came out in the year 2020. I was in pandemic and I had nothing better to do but realize that this was coming out, and I thought that was sick. You might notice that this is a PEGI title, which is European. And they released this Shakedown Miami for the Wii U in the US. So that's an actual like ESRB rated game. But I didn't want it for the Wii U. I wanted it for the Wii because there's nothing cooler than like
a Wii collector.
Yeah, I'm a Wii collector.
Yeah. And
the reason why I don't care about the PEGI is that I homebrew every single one of the Wiis that I own. and I can region unlock the game basically, which is not easier than you think. So I played this game a couple hours. It's basically like Grand Theft Auto 1 or Grand Theft Auto 2, where it's like top down, really good sprite art, really funny story. It's not trying to be like ultra serious, and really good, just like comic mischief. Rated, I think 16 is like the same thing as rated M, basically.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's like, it's supposed to be a little bit violent. It's mostly like the dialogue is like raunchy.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
I wasn't allowed to watch Tom and Jerry when I was a kid because it was too violent. Just kidding. I watched Tom and Jerry all the time.
That was my Tom and Jerry. Okay, No More Heroes. This I really wanted at the time because I just love how flashy it is. Travis Touchdown is a great character. They could add him to Smash tomorrow, and I think it'd be a good addition.
For sure.
Such a great Nintendo character, and he's basically like the antithesis of Nintendo, right? He's supposed to be like crude, crass.
He's an otaku. He's a nerd who's obsessed with Japanese culture. Despite being American, he's constantly jerking off to anime girls. He's a loser. He doesn't have, he can't hold a steady job. He's a lot like, very relatable. And, he just like loves to play video games all day instead of doing his adult responsibilities. And then one day he's approached to be in like an assassination, murder sort of ring or like competition, and you win a lot of money if you kill all the people that are ahead of you. And he's approached by a sexy woman, so you can't say no. So it's one of the most relatable video game characters ever, easily.
It's I guess like the story is like Kill Bill.
A little bit, it's like Kill Bill, except much funnier.
Yeah, much cooler. It's a great video game version of Kill Bill. And also for the Wii at the time, this was a very hard find, and the second one was even harder and very expensive. I was looking for it before it was ever ported to the Switch. No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggles was going for like $120. A lot. That's a lot for a Wii game. And that was like 5 years ago. But because No More Heroes 3 came out for Switch and Grasshopper Manufacturers said that they're going to port 1 and 2, happy for everybody else because they get a better version. But it's cooler to me on the Wii because it uses motion controls and it came out on the Wii originally.
I love Suda51 games, so definitely. I have not played 3, but I have beaten 1 and I loved it.
I've only played 3 entirely because it's easier on the Switch and it looks really cool. It's very colorful, but I will say it's not as fun as I thought it would be, and it's definitely not as fleshed out as I thought it would be. But 1 is probably a better game because it's simpler. 3, the third version of this game, they're trying to go bigger and badder. Maybe doesn't deliver as much, but I don't have the full context because I need to finish that. Okay.
Wow, Suda51. You just shots. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Haven't played this yet. A lot of people online say this is a great game. I just had an urge to look up what's a really good like horror game on the Wii because I could throw it in the collection and at some point I'm going to get to it in my life. This is apparently it. This is apparently one of the best ones.
Cool survival horror game.
Yeah, you're in like the mountain and you're ascending or descending. I don't know. There's ghosts. You're in a blizzard all the time. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks like a cool environment. It's shocking that environment of just like a mountain snowed in has not been used more often in a survival horror setting. Yeah, makes sense.
But maybe I'll talk about it at some other point when I play it. This was probably like the first rated M game on the Wii. But Sega and Platinum Games, I love them for that. They made this like black and white. They also kind of looked like Borderlands, like comic book proportions.
Cell shaded.
So it's cell shaded, but like black and white with like Sin City blood.
Yeah. And
it's like extremely violent, but that's the point. It's cool. This chainsaw like weapon hand is very emblematic of like what you do in this actual game. I played a couple hours. It's really fun. And not bad use of motion controls. It's cool.
Yeah, I've played a couple hours and just...
and I love Platinum Games.
Platinum, we're both big fans, so shout out to Platinum.
Shout out to Platinum. Shout out to Capcom also.
My favorite developer.
Right.
By far.
They're doing the best. Oh, We Speak. We Speak, that's cool. Okay, so...
Google that. We're not going to go into that. We already went into that.
So this was at the time the biggest and baddest Monster Hunter game. They come out like Call of Duty in the East, but
That's kind of true.
This was huge at the time, and I played the demo before ever picking this up, and I was very frustrated because you beat one monster and it takes literally like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I can handle it now as an adult, but back then I was like, I don't think I have time for this.
No, before Monster Hunter World on PS4 and Xbox and PC, I'd say Monster Hunter was like super complex and
Right,
like
right.
a lot of stuff to deal with, a lot of menus to. It's like
Right.
Excel spreadsheet gaming, which I'm no interested in. But we played a lot of Rise together.
Yeah, but Rise is more streamlined.
Right.
So it's easier to get into. At the time, though, this was it. This was cool.
I do not feel that I have a full grasp on Rise, though I've enjoyed my 50 or so hours of it.
It does, yeah. I don't think I do either, and I like it, but okay. You can talk about this more because I haven't played enough of this, and you've played this like multiple times.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite games of all time, what I believe to be one of the greatest games ever. A beautiful final game from the developers before they created Platinum, when they were Clover Games like Capcom. This is a lot like
shout out Kyle Bosman.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle Bosman. This is a lot like Zelda. This is basically an adventure game, but you play as a Japanese wolf god, Amaterasu, and you have the power of paint. So you can do different motions or brush strokes, and they confer different abilities. Like if you draw a slash on an enemy, you cut them. If you draw a sun in the sky, the sun comes out and the plants are regrown. If you draw a little bomb, a bomb happens. So this is a lot like a traditional Zelda game, but with cel-shaded calligraphy graphics, one of the most beautiful games graphically ever made. And I just have so many good memories with this. My cousin Sarah was visiting, and it was my birthday. This was years and years ago around when this came out. And she got me both Bully and Okami on PS2, and nothing was the same after that. I love both of those games very dearly. And a fun fact about this is that when this was ported to the Wii, after failing horribly on the PS2, Capcom published it and had an IGN watermark on the front cover because some intern who was responsible for the cover art was just like, okay, I'm just gonna Google it and put it on there, and they forgot to take off the IGN watermark. So respect. One of the best games ever. And speaking of Bully,
this was I played more of this than I did of Brawl because that's just how much content this has. Yeah, it's an open world Rockstar game, just like Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. But I was explaining before, and I'll try to say it again. It's probably the better version of an open world game because back in 2006 when this came out on PS2, this was as big as games got, and it was big. I mean, it is still big. Yeah. It's considered small by today's standards though, which is fine because games are too big now. But this was great because you're, Jimmy Hopkins, a 15-year-old bully exchange guy trying to understand this preppy world. And you give wedgies and shoot your slingshot and take down the ranks of all the cliques in a prep school. Yeah. I love it already. I just love how thematic that is. It's like a movie.
Neither of us are Grand Theft Auto fans.
I don't love it.
I've never even really played Grand Theft Auto other than at friends' houses when I was a kid, but Bully and Red Dead Redemption are two of my favorite
games. They're better.
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto is honestly overdeveloped and overplayed out now. I'm very sad that they discontinued Bully too. Yeah. And but at least I have the better version on the Wii, which this is a scholarship edition. It's more content than the PS2 version. You can get a better looking one on 360 or something, but I'd recommend that one.
Let's do this and I'll check if it's still recording.
I agree. This is something Yusuf would talk to more, but I played a couple hours of this and it was awesome. I've only played House of the Dead arcade, and I've watched my friends play Resident Evil 7 and 8, but allegedly this is the best version of 4, and Yusuf will explain why.
Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, Resident Evil 4, I would argue, other than Dark Souls, is the single most influential game of the past 20 years because over-the-shoulder third-person shooters owe their entire existence to Resident Evil 4. And not only that, but it's just a perfectly paced, beautiful, tense, incredible, just perfect game in every way. And I first played it on Wii. Some people say that this version isn't the best because the Wii mode makes aiming so easy that some of the tension is lost, but I really never had any issues with the difficulty.
Sounds like I'm going to beat it faster.
Yeah, still perfectly balanced, and you can play with a GameCube controller, so I'd say this is the ideal SD version of Resident Evil 4, and maybe even the best because the HD ports have some weird bugs and like some graphical issues that don't exist in this beautiful, up-resed, widescreen version of the GameCube one with all the PS2 content. GameCube version with all the PS2 content plus extras plus multiple control options. So if I chose one Resident Evil 4 version as my favorite, even including nostalgia, it would be this one.
There you go.
Goated.
Rapid fire. Just kidding.
The next phase. We're going quickly on this one because we don't want it too long of a video, but I just got 2 of these. Not second opinion, but I just picked up yesterday, or just got delivered, Trauma Team and New Blood. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about these.
Okay. These are surgeon simulators, and I'm in PA school currently. I love medicine, and I love how ridiculously inaccurate these are to medicine, but I do like some aspects of anime. So this combines those 2 things, basically, medicine and anime. Yeah. You play like a linear story that's like over dramatized and, kind of like a chosen surgeon without magic. It's just like, oh my God, you're the best surgeon around type stuff. And it's funny. And everyone is like young and hot. It's even funnier. So it's like a narrative adventure kind of, but with the surgeon mini games as like the core mechanic. So it's fine. I played a lot of that with my friend because you could do co-op campaign in this one, single player here, and co-op in this one, which sick. I just picked up. And then the story with this is that most recently I was trying to get this to finish out the trilogy, and it is very expensive relative to a lot of games. It's like $60, and I was during like eBay bid wars, and I was like super upset because I'd get outbid at the last minute. And then serendipity, I got this for $30 after shipping, which is a fantastic really good price. I don't know how it happened, but I just waited long enough. So shout out.
If you like big titty anime girls, speaking of
probably
there's a lot of big titty anime
probably.
But like, I think it's tasteful. I think
it's tasteful.
They want to be with you because you're a great surgeon.
Yeah,
that's sort of like real life.
Yeah, but you'll probably have like 3 love interests by like the first 3 hours of the game.
I gotta play this.
Yeah. Okay.
Sports games.
Yeah, sports games.
We're in sports now.
That could be a sport.
That's kind of a sport. Yeah, being a cool surgeon.
Yeah. So I only got this game because when I was like in 2nd grade, one of the earliest games I've ever played at a friend's house, shout out Jake Schomburg, we played SSX Tricky on PS2. Fantastic game. It's like a racing game, very show-offy, and
lots of tricks.
Lots of tricks. It's really cool. So I wanted that, and I was like, oh, cool, they have that on the Wii. This is just like a segue, it's a side thought. Yeah. They were going to make a Jet Set Radio for the Wii.
Ooh, I did not know that.
And it was canned.
Wow.
Yes, it was unfortunately shelved, and they're just not doing it ever. But this is the closest thing that reminded me of it. And I think that's part of the reason why I got it also, because I was like, I want something like that. But now that we have Bomb Rush Cyberpunk coming on Switch, Cyberpunk, I want to play that now.
Yeah, literally came out yesterday.
Yeah. I only got these because I played a lot of Pro Skater 4 on the PC, and these are probably nothing like that. And because the Pro Skater series had kind of like run its course when it came to a head on 4. First of all, like that's the best.
That was the end of the peak.
It's the best Tony Hawk game probably. Period. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people might have their takes. I love Underground also.
Yeah.
But this was like more like Underground. I think they were getting a little less ridiculous with like how many tricks you could do in an air or like, grind sequence. But, it's still kind of like washed out, brown looking. I don't know. I need to play it to really see what's wrong with it.
Something's
safe. Wrong.
Nothing was safe from that 360 PS3 era brown.
No.
Muddy shooters look.
I mean, look at the cover.
Yeah. This guy's going to the Iraq War.
Right.
What the hell's going on there?
Yeah. This is different though, because this is supposed to be sort of like a fast, it's sort of like that first level of Sonic Heroes.
But the whole game.
But the whole game. Yeah. Now,
or Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But Toys for Bob developed this along with Activision and Neversoft. And that's relevant because Toys for Bob didn't really have any other ideas for Tony Hawk other than let's put Tony Hawk on it. And that's what really draws people in. But unfortunately, it's not true to advertising because every other character here is like this weird, lopsided comic book type character and weird proportions. I don't know if I'd ever play this.
So,
but I got it. So we'll see.
I think Toys for Bob was around until recently. I think they developed Crash Bandicoot 4. And
Oh,
Crash Bandicoot 1 through 3.
well, that
remakes.
explains why they're
Yeah,
disproportionately shaped.
and then they got disbanded by Activision. I mean, they were owned by Activision, and then they got
I see.
disbanded to continue working on Call of Duty. I mean, my question is, who is Bob, and why won't he grow up? Let's continue.
Need for Speed. I only played Hot Pursuit on the PC because I got it in like a cereal box or something. I played Underground, Need for Speed Underground. That's a great one. And also Most Wanted. I played a lot of that at friends' houses. So I think that's why. And also more recently, I've kind of just come around to racing games. These aren't like hyper realistic or anything, but they have like an arcade element to it that I really like. And so I want to try these out. These are 2 of the like 5 that are on the Wii, and they're the best rated. So that's why I got these 2 specifically. Carbon is better than Nitro, according to the voters. And also, I love that this is like compatible with like every single mode of control, minus the zapper. Although somebody probably made it.
You could always just try. Yeah.
It'll probably do something.
Yeah.
So I'll try it eventually.
Hell yeah. I've never played a Need for Speed, actually.
If you like racing,
I should probably try it.
yeah. All right.
I don't even like owning a car.
Those were some uninteresting games. Now we're going to get into the heavy hitters. Most of these are. Oh wait, actually, almost done. Just kidding. These are still third party.
Let me see. All right. More third-party wonderful games.
Mm-hmm. GOAT title, right?
Just wonderful.
Lego Star Wars Complete Saga.
Yeah.
You can get one, like the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy as separate games. But on the Wii, thankfully, it came out as like one disc, all 6 episodes. This is like 100 hours worth of gameplay before long form games ever existed, really. Like this was like hours and hours and hours of co-op fun. Funny enough, I actually got this because I was like, oh, there's like a really cool 4-player game. No, it's only 2-player. My bad. It doesn't matter though, because it's really fun to play, especially fun to play with only 2 people.
Yeah.
So do that for couch co-op. Lots of collectibles, lots of fun. Like it's Lego humor, so they're not talking. They're just like kind of grunting and going like, oh. And I don't know how to explain it better than that, but it's great. And also, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
No, I loved the original 2 sagas on PS2. I played the hell out of those, and I got those when they came out. I remember begging my mom for the original trilogy, or the episodes 1, 2, and 3 when those came out. And I heard that the new one of this, like the complete saga with like 7, 8, and 9, was made with like pretty abusive slave labor.
Like this? Oh,
yeah, at Telltale Games. So I picked this up instead. It's probably more fun.
I'm not a fan of Telltale.
Yeah.
I don't like how they add like actual voice dialogue and stuff.
Yeah, there are other games, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Harry Potter, like, take it or leave it, but these are classics.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
This is an underrated game.
Yeah. Super cool.
Super cool game. Very, very good concept. Yusuf kind of articulated why it's cool, or why games like this aren't made anymore. But this is like a puzzle platformer where you are only a shadow, and so you can only interact with other shadows because that's the dimension basically you exist in. And there's a lot of like really cool ways mechanically that you can play with light, and that's why it makes it a really cool way. And you're just ascending a tower. There's a story that I couldn't really tell you about, but it's there, and honestly, it's a beautiful game. Really cool. It almost reminds me of like Shadow of the Colossus, but it has nothing to do with that.
They both have shadow in the title?
No, but you're right, but it's not because of that. I promise. It's more just like the aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the type of game that doesn't get made anymore because it's a mid-budget, not like a super small, just 2D platformer, but not obviously like a Mario Galaxy big budget game. But this middle sort of development type of game has fallen out completely because budgets have skyrocketed, and this is the sort of thing would be made by an indie studio now with in 2D with pixel art, which is sad because we would like to see more 3D full-on games made by mid-sized teams with mid-sized budgets and just a couple of hours long, really interesting concepts. Yeah, what happened? We're fucked. I have nothing to say.
The Monkey Balls are actually good games if you like arcade games.
But these ones?
I'll get to that. Okay, so I played Monkey Ball 2 a lot on the GameCube with friends.
Classic.
And you can optimize that game. It's like a very fun thing to watch speedrun, actually. I got these specifically because I wanted it on the Wii. And I knew that they would, because it's Monkey Ball, if you know how it works, you're like tilting an entire stage. I feel like it was going to use the motion controls, and I was right. This one uses the controller for you to tilt. And I like that kind of gameplay. I haven't played it long enough to see if it gets old or not. And then this one uses actually the Wii balance board. Here we go. The blue icon.
That's actually a really interesting concept. Did you play this and did they pull it off?
This just came in the other day.
Okay. So he'll let us know in the next video.
I'll I hope it does, because I like that this is as close to literally being the monkey ball. Because you get to like weigh in and out and side to side, and
You got a T-pose.
Yeah. Exactly.
Get in there.
It could be fun. The only game that you'll get close to that is on like the Wii Fit games.
I don't like that they like chibi'd the monkeys.
They've always been like that, though.
Yeah, but this is like too cute. Like the rough edges are sewn off of an already cute thing.
Anyway, here's another one. THQ made this and Battle for Bikini Bottom. This is like the Wii specific Destroy All Humans game.
Yeah.
I played a lot of the first one on the PS2 at friends' houses, but
Classic.
I haven't played this yet. I picked this up at like a place in Fort Worth where I live, and we have yet to see what it's like. I have a feeling it's not going to be as cool. It's probably going to be like a shorter and less like fully fleshed game. They probably just took like the character and like, you know, swapped over mechanics for motion controls and said it's a Wii game. But
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll play it soon.
Unleash your Big Willy, that's what it said. And it's called Destroy All Humans Big Willy Unleashed. So
Yeah.
don't do that in public.
This, I said it funnier. I don't think I'll be able to repeat what I said, but we picked this up recently at a sale. Let's just say it was like 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I was really drawn by the cover art. I love how it's like a monster movie poster, and you know, it's kind of tantalizing. But you play it, and it's literally just a 3D platformer like adventure where you go off to figure out the prophecy of something. You like touch an asteroid, and you have the ability to absorb energy, but you don't have like super mushroom abilities or anything. Nothing mushroom punny about this, other than it's like make-believe mushroom characters, and there's no war either, I don't think. So I don't really
It's just
understand.
complete false advertising.
Yeah, it's bad. But
so this is just like a action platformer where you don't even have specific mushroom
no,
powers.
there's no play on mushrooms at all. It's a huge
You're just
missed
a
opportunity.
guy.
Yeah, that's all.
Fucking.
Yeah, could have been better, but it's
It
probably
is called Mushroom Men, so technically half of it is true. You're just a guy. The Spore Wars. So there's not even a war.
maybe I need to play more, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
This one just came in today. 4-player, very zany platformer, Rayman. I want to say this is like the first time that they pivoted to this like cartoon 2D style, which is very like stylized, and I think that's a lot cooler than 3D Rayman or like the Rabbids. So this is probably a cool game. I know Legends on Switch is supposed to be good. That's a port, right? Legends?
I believe so, yeah.
So, you know, this and Legends, I think, are supposed to be really good platforming games. I haven't played it yet, though. Just
everybody loves Rayman.
Licensed game, Simpsons game. This came out in like 2008 or 2009. I wanted this to be like Simpsons Hit and Run, which was like a big open world Simpsons game. When you're like 12, 13 years old, you're like peak Simpsons audience.
Right.
So this was like amazing for me to come out around that time. And I played this actually in its entirety on my cousin's PSP, because they ported it there after the PS2 and then eventually came here. So I believe this is still the exact full version of the game. Somehow it's 2-player as well, so that'd be cool to play with somebody.
Oh, it's fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simpsons has surprisingly good licensed games. I'd say like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I don't like, and The Simpsons, which I really haven't watched that much Simpsons in my life. Like, shockingly good licensed games. Like, both have great arcade games made by Konami. You know, this game, Hit and Run,
Road Rage, which is like Crazy Taxi, but Simpsons.
I mean, that's Just
Yeah.
that's
It
great.
just, I think it lends itself really well to like a good game.
Of the good arcade type experience. Yeah.
This one just came in recently too. I have
Nice.
not played it yet. You might be able to talk about it more than me,
Yeah.
but I looked up the trailer. It's a fun cartoon art style. I'm sure it has like, some kid elements, but once you get past that, it's probably mechanically rich. You're a boy and the blob can transform into all these tools. And I think that's what helps you progress through different levels.
Yeah.
So excited to see where that goes. The animation looked really nice and I don't think it's going to be dull.
Yeah, I have the
Which sounds
Switch.
really pathetic, but I'm just like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It won't be terrible, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have the Switch version pre-ordered on limited run, and this was one of the first just puzzle platformers ever because it was released on the NES, and this is sort of a remake and a reimagining of the NES one.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I didn't know that.
Pretty sick. Yeah, definitely worth a play.
Then there you go.
This I don't. Yeah.
So this is not as cool as like the Bully, but around the same time it came out. This is a licensed from Paramount. EA developed it, and it's basically a extrapolation of the actual first Godfather movie. And it's called Black Hand Edition because it has some bonus content that were added after it was ported from PlayStation 2. I played it all. I'm trying to think. I'm honestly just trying to think of what this game is about. Other
It's
than
just
that,
like an action, sort of like free roaming.
yes, the map is big. It's basically all the boroughs of New York and Manhattan, or is it all the boroughs of Manhattan? Whatever. And you basically extort all the other crime bosses and crime families of like the Italian mafia that exist in like the Godfather movies out. and they all become Corleone territory. That's all you do. But you also go through like the Godfather 1 movie while you do that.
Are you gonna get the Sopranos game next?
Is there one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. There's a
Okay.
good donkey video on the Sopranos game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played this. This is actually in really good shape. My friend Angel donated her entire Wii, and they gave me this game too. So I was happy to look at it because I just like the font. I like the character. I looked at some gameplay online, and it's like kind of like a top-down puzzler where you're this amoeba type, just amorphous shape, and you can do crazy things with how you go through levels.
Yeah, it looks like a
fun.
really good puzzle game. This is on my list, so I'll have to pick that up.
Can't speak to it other than that though. This, I forgot what I said. What did I say? It's like an ocean
It's like
a sandbox
yeah.
or
It's sort of like a calm. It feels like no real particular goal. Just go around and hang out with a whale.
Yeah.
My dream scenario.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'd like to pick that up too.
Mhm.
This is the second you said in 2 Endless Ocean.
Yes,
games.
there's an Endless Ocean something, and then there's this Blue World one. And also, I made note of this, that it used the We Speak accessory, which is really cool. The only other game that really used that is Monster Hunter Tri and Animal Crossing City Folk. So, nice.
You can find. I'm not gonna make that joke. Let's go.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the third-party stuff.
That's a lot of third-party stuff. We're gonna take a quick break.
I don't even need to talk about this.
I mean, you've played that. Your grandma has played this.
Yeah. We'll talk about its sequel, though. But before that, we'll go into this. Wii Fit.
I also, despite these not being like the best games in the world, I would like to own all the Wii-specific
Yes.
Nintendo
Yes.
games. Yeah.
These all of these games in this current category is the Wii. I don't know if they're called like the Wii series or something.
Yeah,
But they're the best demonstration of the tech, period. Like, Wii Sports comes with the Wii for the reason. This one is supposed to be the best way to use the Wii balance board because it's not just for yoga. They have really fun mini games that you should try. I don't know how Wii Fit Plus uses the Wii Motion Plus that well, but I'm sure it does something. And I think it probably adds mini games, but these were great.
I mean, I respect all these games that we're going to be talking about. You can pull up the next one because the imagination and sort of vision of gaming as a communal experience where you could interact in real life things, but gamified, like exercise, music, sports, but with different interesting motion controls and levels of interaction. We have recessed from that idea of what a game can be, and now it's just like gamers hate to get up, gamers hate to be active, gamers hate anything that would tear them away from the very specific conception that they have of just, this is a controller and I'm a guy and I can go kill people. They hate the idea of doing anything more interesting than that. So we failed as a medium, but this was it's still commercial, but different vision of what a video game could be that we don't necessarily have anymore.
Yeah.
Wii Music.
Well said. Wii Music. People don't like this game.
This is not very good. I own this and play this, and it is not good.
I actually like it a lot,
Okay.
but I'll die on the hill. It's fine.
I'll die on the Wii Music hill.
Not exclusively this game, but I think no one else liking this. I will be alone on the hill. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The game has a lot of replayability because you can every time you unlock a new instrument, you can replay any of the songs. The song selection is the worst part because they're like old,
it's
like
probably just
Beethoven.
It's probably just like stuff they could use for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Joy and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Those are literally songs you can play. But I just liked sometimes you can really play around with it, and there's also like an album creator, an album cover creator, which is really fun to mess around with. And I just like anything that actually like takes full advantage of the Mii's. And so there's plenty of Mii play. And also it says Wii Balance Board. You will never find that until you go to the drum session mode. It's totally locked behind the fact of you having a Wii Balance Board or not. If you have it, it is unlocked. And basically each side of the Wii Balance Board, which is like kind of like 2 steps, is supposed to be a hi-hat and a kick drum.
Sick.
And so you actually can emulate like a dum, dum,
okay, that's kind of cool.
And it feels like drums. And I can say that because I play drums. Yeah. So it's cool. I think people can give it more of a shot.
Let's get a port to the Switch with some Perfume Genius songs and
yeah. Or if anyone is modding Wii Music to be like with contemporary indie artists, I think that'd be great.
Let's get a little Uzi Vert in Wii Music.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to really talk about this when we talked about this. Yeah. So yes, hold that together.
I'll hold this. Oh well, Okay.
There you go. This is amazing. This is double amazing because not only do you do get rid of some sports games, which is a shame, but there's 12 sports in this game with 3 modes apiece. So it has substantially more content, and it's all the Mii play that I ever asked for. It introduced Woohoo Island, which is a canon like Nintendo Wii thing. Woohoo Island is
Smash.
It's more important than Smash itself.
Yeah. It's more important than some real countries, actually.
Yeah. It has a higher GDP.
More people have been to Woohoo Island than have been to I'm not even going to disparage anyone's country. God bless you all.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely I don't know how to explain it. A lot of other people on YouTube have made videos of why Woohoo Island's existence is there, but
has a good sense of place.
It's just well designed. I mean, it's supposed to be a theoretical place where all the sports are played and everyone's happy. Very idealistic.
Yeah. It's like the Olympics, but year round.
Yes.
Yeah. Without the sex.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, any of these games, it's all 4 players can be there. Yeah. And so it's really good. I mean, I've had more fun with this than I've had an infinite fun with this, but even more with this. And so I think if you haven't tried this, get it now before it's too expensive because it's going to get there.
They should make a sports game where you play as an Olympian and you can choose out of a number of sports where you get to do the RPG elements, going in the Olympic Village, having sex with other Olympians,
everything but the sport?
Political disputes. No, you still play the sports, obviously. It has a full simulation of soccer or, I don't know, karate, whatever.
I always thought that was funny how in more recent FIFAs, there's the coach mode and you could do full World Cup tournament simulations where you don't even play the game. You watch the simulation run where people are scoring goals and you're the coach on the sidelines. Basically.
There are people who love to do Football Manager. There are a lot of British people who love Football Manager. They don't dream of being a international soccer star. They dream of being the guy who manages the international soccer star. That's a bit strange to me, but
it's because they're lazy.
I don't want to exercise. I want to exercise the mind.
Oh wait, yes, we can do this together. So we play, really fun. Again, it's just a series of mini games, only 2-player. this is a better version. This is technically the sequel. And in fact, I was going to get this a lot cheaper than I did recently because I saw this in Canada and I was like, oh my God, is this like a Canadian version of it?
Canada?
This was years ago.
Oh, okay.
Years ago, like 2018.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't pick it up because I'm just like, I have Wii, or like I can get Wii Play really
Yeah.
easily. Wrong. This is more games and it's the sequel. And I think it uses Wii Motion Plus. So it's better versions of any game. So pick this up before it's too expensive also, just like how Wii Sports Resort is better than Wii Sports. Okay.
This was about $200, right?
No. I would never spend that much money.
I'm just kidding.
What? That was like, I have to think. I think I got it for 25.
That's still
For
pretty
like,
unreasonable.
For like a mini game, it's
yeah.
that's a lot of money.
Well, this is like one of the best-selling Wii games because it came with a controller. It came with a free Wii
Oh,
remote
cool.
if you bought this. So
I didn't know
people
that.
would buy the hell out of this, but
Yeah.
not Wii Play Motion.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, now we're going on to the real heavy hitters that most people know about, but they still got to be talked about. And
Yes.
we have the most good memories, I'd say, with these
Yes.
games. Yeah.
We basically categorize them as like first party.
This is like first party Nintendo. So the reason you buy a Nintendo.
Right.
But
So there's 2 stacks here that we'll just go. Do you want to check?
I say we do a break for
Okay.
an advertisement.
We would like to play.
Introducing the ultimate Wii Throwdown. Gather your friends, invite the whole family as the biggest characters in gaming history come together for the brawl to end them all. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Rated T for teen.
And we're back with the great, beautiful first-party Wii games that everybody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's incredible how much Nintendo supports all their consoles with first-party games, but I'd say that other than the Switch, Nintendo had its biggest first-party presence just as far as number of titles on the Wii. Just it was pumping stuff out to support the system, and all great games, I'd say. A lot of great games. One of the finest to see.
Well, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
I'm looking
I might
at
be
this.
wrong.
They have more variety, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for some reason we're starting with this. No order, like we mentioned at the beginning of this video. This is Donkey Kong Country Returns. If you ever played the original Donkey Kong Countries on the Super Nintendo, it was amazing. It was, better platformer than Mario in some ways.
No, I totally disagree. I thought Donkey Kong Countries on Super Nintendo were fine. I was not wowed.
It's hard to beat World, so
Yeah.
I agree. I'll
I don't-
redact.
I don't
Okay.
think that Donkey Kong Countries, and I played them a lot on my friend's Super Nintendo when we would go to his place, but I don't think that they required the level of precision and exploration that Super Mario World or Super Mario Bros. 3 did. Well, actually, they did require a lot of, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just talking. But the point is that this was a fantastic game. I loved this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Retro Studios that make
Yeah.
amazing games.
Metroid Prime.
Continue.
Yeah.
And okay, let's just compare it to I'll just bring it out early to this.
Smart.
Which is a better platformer?
I mean, this
objectively,
is far and away a better
yes.
game. Yeah.
This is for babies, and this is for adults. It's that easy.
Yeah.
So, I only compared it because we have a Mario and Donkey Kong entry on Super Nintendo.
Right.
He made a point that it's fine, but I think now this superseded a better platformer because this evolved, this leveled up.
Yeah.
This made the entry into Donkey Kong platforming is better because of this game.
What's
and
amazing,
it's been ported to two other systems at this point, 3DS and Switch.
Some people say the 3DS version is better because you don't have to use the annoying motion controls to do ground pounds and
But
stuff.
you can blow into the 3DS microphone.
Yeah.
So
I would say that my favorite thing about these is not the challenge, which is really high and great, and not the precision platform required. But one thing that I have recently realized about Mario games when I was watching the Super Mario Wonder trailer, is that the backgrounds and environments of 2D Mario games sometimes seem stale. They seem empty. It's just sort of like
a stage backdrop.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like a real place that Mario is in. And I think that's plagued Mario since at least after Super Mario World, the 2D games.
Mm-hmm.
The Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, you feel like you're Donkey Kong in a real place. Something is always happening in the background. Explosions, very dynamic, different art styles. There's silhouette level, Man, I might take that back to San Francisco. I might take Tropical Freeze back to San Francisco.
Great game.
Those are such good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze is amazing.
Yeah.
Even better than this one, but I mean, you gotta try this one out.
No, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I wish they ported this to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually let's just continue on
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. I picked these up recently. So this is Jungle Beat. Now the reason why I was really interested in playing this because I thought you could play with the Donkey Kongas and you cannot. The new play controls are really they're meaning it. They're like, no, new play controls. You cannot use the congas, which is unfortunate. Which I have congas to use.
Yeah.
You use your you just use the controller and the nunchuck, and you kind of just swing it like left and right, and it works.
Yeah.
But
it's not the same.
You also use the stick. It like the way that the original one worked is like you tap right and you move right. You hit both and you jump. Like that was it was going to be cool. And I just couldn't do any of that. So whatever. It works really nice. And it's actually very acrobatic. There's like a combo system. It's very different than the one we were just talking about. So try it out. And it's cool.
One of my favorite games of all time. Guess whose house I played it at?
Matthew Fear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of my favorite games ever on the GameCube original. The bongos are such an underrated, fun control
it's
method.
So cool.
Don't know about this one though.
I have not played this one.
one of the lowest,
I don't know anything about
the lowest rated Nintendo games ever.
And that's just because I think it's a racer, which is like you're like barrel flying, which sounds dumb, but I just completed the Donkey Kong sequence.
That ain't it.
We can talk about
let's wait. That's on the top of that.
Oh, what?
Let's keep going.
No, this was in here.
Okay, it's meant to go there, and then we'll continue.
Fine.
So
spoiler, but
this is now on Switch.
This is now on Switch. Definitive.
Yeah.
So this is a worse version, but this is very expensive. I didn't realize this is still sealed.
This is crazy. Yeah.
This is still sealed. It's
that's
new.
Hilarious.
So I won't open it.
Do not open it.
And that's okay because I don't want to play this game as much as I want to play other games, so I can wait.
Yeah. But good game. I don't think 2 and 3 are like if you want to spend 120 hours in an RPG where every character is super annoying and high pitched voice and designed really obnoxiously and poorly, then go play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. If you don't,
yes,
if you want
they're not connected. They're not really connected
connected
anyway. And like we mentioned, I have Last Story to play, which is probably a better game than this even. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's got to be in line. So
exquisite.
All right.
Also, one of my favorite games. I played the fuck out of this on Wii. I played the fuck out of this.
I'm really curious how the Wii balance board plays into this. Like, it's boxing. It's all about footwork and punching, but
it's
like
not
how?
I played it a couple of times, Wii balance board. It's much more fun to just play Wii remote on the side.
Okay, cool.
NES style, yeah.
Gotcha.
But this was, I loved Punch Out on NES, which I had on the Virtual Console. And then this came out and I was jazzed. I was like so excited. I played until you can unlock a secret battle with a character.
Oh, nice.
This guy. You can unlock a secret battle with Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Couldn't beat that, but other than that, I 100% of the game.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And the style, which is like a huge upgrade from the SNES and the NES versions. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
great.
You're making me so nostalgic. I'm glad we did this because we're talking about some of my favorite games ever now.
Well, these are heavy.
Yeah. This is not one of my favorite games ever.
I did play this a lot though, because before, but this is maybe in a way better than New Horizons because New Horizons is not like a normal Animal Crossing game. Yeah, I'm curious how many people might agree with that take, but this, look, the Wii speak. No, I'm just kidding. The reason why this is fun is just because this is more of the same. And I like that. I like that it's more of the same. This uses Animal Crossing in like where the world was like a rolling pin, you know? It's like a never-ending rolling pin. Yes. Yeah. And I like that. It just looked cool to me. The city was nice. That's where there was more stuff to do than just like the OG Animal Crossing. This is probably like the second or third, maybe fourth entry in the game. So they didn't know where to go from here. But at the time, before New Leaf, this was...
Do love New Leaf.
New Leaf is the best one, but this one was right up there with it, in my opinion. I like it a lot.
Let's see if it's still recording. Swing 100% sure. It is. Scooby. Okay, so these next... Okay. So these next two games are some of our favorite games.
Yeah.
We are both super
Period.
passionate about this series. I'm very excited to play the new entry. Have
Yes.
you? Have you played it?
No, I need to though.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna give up Tears of the Kingdom and just go for playing the new entry before I start.
I don't
my
blame
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Goated.
Amazing.
Just
The only thing wrong with this game is how it's the Nintendo Selects cover.
yeah, that's
They don't.
hideous.
It doesn't exist as a non, but it needs to, and I might just reprint it on
Yeah.
myself. But amazing first player, single player games. Actually, it says 2. There might be a mode in there, but this is the best game until 4 came out. Apparently, this was the best version of Pikmin.
Yeah.
You have to play this though before experiencing this because this is so beautifully simplistic.
Essence.
It's the best, like one of the best GameCube games in my opinion, and I played a lot of them, but I just love how small and simple but challenging it is, and it's an RTS game. It's really hard to sell RTS like as a genre, period. And this is just like the right aesthetic, I guess.
Yeah.
But they did it even better in this one. I think that's crazy. It's hard to do that in a sequel. And the third one lost something because
Too much micromanagement.
Yeah, there's 3 characters. This is only 2. It looks better because it's HD. This one is fine with like the pre-rasterized images for ground textures, etc. It doesn't matter. It's just about being like more challenging. I think that's why it makes this really nice. And you get to have 2 captains, which is better than 1 here. So I don't know. Try these out.
I'm super excited for the switchboards that are coming out physically.
Yes,
Yeah.
The reason why these exist on the Wii and they're not just on GameCube is they did new play controls, and the new play controls with the IR cursor is so much easier than a GameCube controller. Just like how on Metroid Prime, you don't need to use like weird tank controls, like half tank controls. You get to like aim with it. It's so much better. Just trust me on that.
Very exciting.
This was grouped in just because it's like similar in its characters, but Elebits. He showed me this. It's a 4-player game. Well, it's a 1-player game, but you can play up to 4 players, where you're basically exploring these rooms that have like puzzle after puzzle after puzzle, where you're corralling little fantasy creatures that are like electrical. And
it's cute.
That's the only premise I can get from the start of it. It looks like Pikmin and Katamari, like somewhere in the middle. That's
Fun
all.
little experiment.
Yeah.
Early Wii game, if I'm not mistaken, and
it's great though.
Yeah, it's a fun little, makes good use of the motion control.
It's Konami. That's cool.
They're not good anymore, but they used to be.
They used to be. Wow, we're really getting some good stuff here.
Let's go there and then we can finish.
Let's start with the less. Okay, so I like this game. I've played it twice actually. He laughs at me for that.
No, one of the biggest Metroid fans in the world. No.
It's a 2D Metroid game with a Z-axis.
Yeah.
And I like the story. It's it's kind of epic. I love how you have the the action sequence dodging. It makes it seem more interactive.
That was cool.
And they continued that. Like they have that in the Mercury Steam games. So I've played this enough, but there's some annoying story elements that people have talked about a lot online, and I agree with. But Samus looks sick in this game. The boss battles are really cool in this game too. So it has something to show for it.
The Gaming Brit has a great review of this game. I really like his YouTube channel.
Go there.
And I remember being so excited for this. I pre-ordered it, which I never did back in the day. I got like the pre-order bonuses from GameStop, which I still have, and then I played it and I was like, my hand is always cramping because you constantly have to do weird things with the Wii remote on the side and then like flick it up. One of the screens.
Yeah, that part's annoying. I agree. Yeah.
Let's talk about good Metroid games.
This is actually one I haven't finished.
I haven't finished it either, and I'm sort of embarrassed.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, if you played I might as well just bring this out.
Yeah.
This is like a coup de grace type game.
Yeah,
like this is in great shape. Also, it's a steel case. It has a poster in it. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull it out. Talk about something.
This is the number one most jealous. I'm most jealous of you having this game.
I got this for 50, and now it goes for like 100 something. Yeah, like stupid. Yeah, it's like holographic.
Wow.
Oh, this is some concept art here.
Sick.
Character holographs on this side. Very cool pickup.
So sick.
And the greatest part about the trilogy is when it contains this game, which is like Metroid Prime, but Wii.
Yeah.
We can put that away. We can now talk about this best version. this takes the GameCube games, which is 1 and 2, and it gives the IR controller, which is way better. It makes the game way more cool. Like, right arm is Samus's gun. Like, that's literally the best part about it. And everything else is like not that gimmicky, honestly. I think people who think it is are just overstating that. But what's cool about having all 3 games on one disc is that you play one and you get the credits rolling, and then immediately like 2 2 is always available from the start, but like it basically says like, are you ready for 2 now?
Oh, sick.
And then all 3 of the games have like unlocks though, because that's what makes this a special edition, is that you've unlocked, like, the more you explore and the closer you get to 100%ing each game, you get like concept art unlocked digitally in the game.
Yeah.
So it has like tons of cool stuff to see. And if you haven't like explored that, Metroid has some of the best concept art, because you just can't go wrong with like this much sci-fi, and Nintendo's super imaginative with it.
Shout out to fellow Texans Retro Studio. I have my hangups about Metroid Prime on the Wii, but I just think that the GameCube version is designed around the limitations of the GameCube controller. Sort of like Resident Evil 4. Maybe it might be too easy, but I really haven't played on the Wii, but I am super excited to play the remaster on Switch.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite games ever. Top 5 easily is Metroid Prime. So
yeah.
Also one of the games I've beaten the most, along with Resident Evil 4. So super excited to play that.
It is very cool that they re-released the
It's the best looking Switch game.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in the home stretch. Let's go through these semi-quick.
So this is funny just because just like how Other M is like a lesser Metroid game, a lot of people think these are lesser Zelda games.
Very bad.
But these are from do you know what the new like, it's not confirmed, but the new speculation is that we have now rebooted Zelda with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So this is the origin story of Zelda old timeline.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword. Beautiful story. The Zelda dungeon design is probably one of the
Really good
best.
dungeons, yeah.
It's in because technically it's the last game before we rebooted Zelda, before Breath of the Wild. Came out in like 2011. Really good use of the Wii Motion Plus also, and other than that, like it just had like it had weak points in like the Zelda dungeons. You revisited them, and I think a lot of people didn't like that.
Right.
So it lacked a little variety. And then
That was
also,
awful.
it was like half-assed crafting system.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, you let me borrow your copy, which was, I guess, Tim White's copy.
Yes.
That's why you have 2.
Yes.
And Zelda was my favorite series and continues to be. It's most people's favorite series. I mean, that's nothing special, but I remember playing it and I beat it.
Mhm.
It took me like 80 hours. And I remember being
That's
like,
a lie.
this game is just so fucking long for no reason. And I'm constantly going back to a place I've already been. And I was just so annoyed at it. And the controls were awful. I hated it. But it was Zelda, so I just had to play it and I had to beat it. And I remember just texting Demir every day being like, fuck this game, man. Like, I'm going to play it, but fuck this game.
Yeah, you're going to beat it.
Yeah.
But it's
I'll
worth
play
it.
it on Switch.
It's worth it when you finally beat Demise. Spoiler. And
Whoa.
then, are you kidding? And then, you get reunited with Zelda. And I don't know. I like all of it. I think it's like, it's canon. So, and the reason why this game is cool specifically, like, I mean, it's the only version of it, I think, but it includes the soundtrack for the game. So it has 2 discs in it.
Yeah.
And that's only because this is the 25-year anniversary of Zelda. And now we're at like 35 and almost 40.
Not my favorite Zelda game other than Breath of the
Also
Wild.
mine.
Yeah.
This is I remember someone said this is the teenage angst of Zelda, because this is like
Haters.
they said it in a good way,
Yeah.
because this is where Zelda got really dark and moody, right? Like, Zelda was already a little moody and dark because of Majora's Masks and Ocarina. They had some scary imagery. This just like went way into that because we had better graphics capability. And I love that for them.
Yeah. I would love to own this on Wii U if it wasn't $300 for the special edition. I am begging them to put this on Switch. I would play the hell out of this and destroy all my notions of this being the best Zelda. But we'll see.
Oh, I thought that was the price. I don't know how much I paid for this.
Yeah, I got this with my Wii on launch after Sonic, whatever, and I was like, Sonic sucks. Let me get Zelda.
Okay, 2 Kirby games.
Yeah, just got this yesterday.
I have not played this. Also an Angel donation to me,
Very
so
nice.
I'll. It's 4-player. It's probably for babies. maybe all right.
I don't like Kirby. I hate Kirby.
We played this though.
Yeah, I did enjoy this, but it was for babies.
It's the
Yeah.
easiest game, and everyone's gonna say that. But the art style can't be beat.
Super
Like
charming.
no one has made a game that looks that cool like this. Like the Yoshi Crafted World series is trying its hardest to be like this, and it's gonna be hard to beat. But I think a better Kirby game. I hope they do more of like Forgotten Land, because
I'm
that's a
excited
good
to play
Kirby
that
game.
one with our wonderful director. I'm excited to play that.
Yeah.
Let's start this one from the bottom there.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, I agree. Let's do these.
Yeah.
So, have you played this?
I own it, but I've played a little bit. It's a good time.
Extremely underrated.
Yeah.
This is a like a beat 'em up platformer. Wario gets his own game basically.
Yeah.
I guess Wario did have his own game on the Game Boys that was like this. They were like called Wario Land, and this is Wario Land Shake It. There's just some like gimmicky shaking controls for like action, but it's fun. It's okay. It's not too bad. Just like how Mario Galaxy has like a little flick for a spin move, Wario has something like that. It's simple.
Yeah.
Really fun collectathon also, and it's this cartoon art style. The animation is superb. So if you can find this game, I recommend it, because honestly, it's right up there with like Donkey Kong and Mario.
Yeah, that was a good game. I mean, one of my favorite Wii games that I spent a lot of time with is one over there, WarioWare.
Here it is.
Another Wario game.
This one's
yeah.
Boost?
I spent
Yes.
the hell. I mean, along with Punch Out and along with Donkey Kong, Country Returns, I played the hell out of this.
Yeah, this is funny because it's a bunch of micro games, but it's a single player game only. There's no multiplayer on this at all.
There is, but you just pass the Wii remote around.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah.
So I'm really glad on the Switch that they're kind of lending the multiplayer couch co-op, because they have 2 WarioWare games now that are like 4-player. So I'm glad for them.
I still think this is the peak of Wario.
This is the best, because if you ever played it, they have like this guy come in and he's really like, what, I don't know what the term would be, but he's like, hold the remote.
Oh yeah, like the Zen Buddhist type of it's
Yes.
quite funny. This is the peak of WarioWare to me. I love this game.
They did.
And I love the GameCube one too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mario sports games.
This is great. The first
I've not played this.
Yes, I played it.
Yeah.
It's basically like bigger and more than the GameCube one. The GameCube one is hella fun. I played the most of it actually on the Dolphin emulator with friends, because I have a May Flash controller adapter. So this is like that, but with the Wii. And I would like to talk about it more, but I haven't played it enough.
I was playing the Switch version, Battle League, I think, something like that, with Adil, my roommate and good friend, and I was just totally confused of what to do. So I'm gonna have to learn Mario Strikers, but they seem fun.
They're fun.
I'm not really. I play soccer in real life, not in video games.
Right. Okay, I can talk about this though, because at the time I played this. This was like one of the few games I actually owned on the Wii, and there's it's not a lot. It's not deep at all, but it's every single Mario character possible in the baseball game, which is crazy to me. Every villain, well, most villains, most heroes and side characters are playable in this. Like you'll get like a cutscene when you unlock Blue Yoshi or a Yellow Shy Guy, and
you can
it's
play as a
sunny.
Goomba.
And a Goomba,
like
it's cool. But there's a story mode. That's how you get that like unlock, and then you can replay like infinite baseball games if you want. Everybody has really cool like Mario power ups, but for hitting or pitching. So if you're into baseball and Mario, that's what you do.
I loved the GameCube one and never played this.
Yeah. I need to own this game 3 more times. No, I'm not kidding. Like I need to own it for every Wii console I have, because that's like the reason why I have so many Wii consoles is because I'm trying to homebrew them so that I can do custom tracks among all of them online.
Party.
Like a LAN party and a tournament.
That'd be sick.
But I need copies of Mario Kart. So if you want to donate your copy with case, give it to me. So I have 2 of them right now, and I'll get more in the future. But they're currently like $60 right now, because this has, other than the current Mario Kart, this is the most popular Mario Kart period because of custom tracks. There's like thousands of custom tracks that you can, with a homebrewed Wii or with Dolphin, you can now install and you can take full advantage of within the Mario Kart Wii engine. It's great.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the second best Mario Kart. I still think that Mario Kart DS is the best Mario Kart. Hot take. Okay.
Well, I'm a fan of the motion controls, so I can use that. Let's do this one.
Yeah.
I love that this is the only red game.
I do like that.
And it's easy to spot. So if you ever like, I don't know what to play, like with 4 players, this is an easy pick.
But you were hating on this.
No, I was not hating on this. You're right. This is better.
You hated on the spine.
Well, it's because it does. No, it's because the whole game, the whole case is red.
That's fair.
This is white. No, it's not. I don't know what to think.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
it is a bit sick.
But this is a lovely like red case, and they did a good job marketing it. In fact, I'm pretty sure this came out alongside with the red Wii. That's why it's all red. Yeah. So everything was red: the red controller, the red Wii, the red game.
Into a blind rage.
Yes, yes. But this is a fantastic game. It is a little easy, and at the time this was great. But they just kept going with the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and people talk about it. It's just dead. Like there's not a lot going for it anymore.
I loved the original on DS, and then after that, mid. It's mid. Matadors use this. Matadors use copies of this in bullfights.
Really?
No.
Okay.
That was a joke, folks. It's a patented joke.
Another thing about homebrew is that people mod this a lot. They have really cool. Like they'll make a whole game where it's like 8 worlds, but it's New Super Mario Bros. But every level is like galaxy inspired. So they'll take like galaxy worlds or galaxies and make a whole game in this engine. And that's cool.
Probably better than this game.
It's fine.
All right, now we're down to 3 of the best games.
Are we saving these?
I say we talk about those last.
Okay. We can talk about this for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I played maybe 1,000 hours of this.
That's it?
I played the hell out of this. And I remember being at the midnight launch with my friend, elementary school friend, Jonathan Martin.
Oh, wow.
And I remember we were one of the first few people in line. Last midnight launch I went to for any game ever was this. And I just absolutely loved Brawl. It has its limitations, I'm sure, in the grand scheme of competitive Smash, but I'm just like a guy who enjoys playing Smash Bros. Semi-competitively, but I'm never going to a local tourney. I wear deodorants on a daily basis, so I'm not going to be attending one of those. Right. I would like to, but Ultimate I love, Melee I love, 64 I have fond memories of childhood, but this is the one I played the most other than Melee.
Yeah.
And it had Snake and Sonic. Do you remember when they did the daily updates on SmashBros.com?
No.
Okay, so in middle school, when on the lead up to this game, every day on the Smash Bros. Website, they would post like a new thing, like a new item, new character or whatever.
This is before Directs.
This is before Directs. And I remember the day I walked into the lunchroom and everybody was like, did you see Sonic in this? Did you see Sonic in this?
Oh, that's
everybody's
sick.
mind was blown.
Just
insane. And all the other new characters like Meta Knight and Ike and all that stuff. Lucas, everybody was just new stages. That was the peak of just fandom, just enjoying going to school every day, talking to your friends about what dropped on Smash Bros. Website, and then the game came out. It was awesome. So, Subspace Emissary,
amazing,
big fan.
They need to bring it back.
Yeah.
What's it called? Something of Light.
Garbage.
Not nearly what this
Trash.
was bringing. Yeah.
Fucking sucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of glad everything has just stayed in this game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this had so much to bring forward, and Smash is interesting. They'll take stuff away, but that is until Ultimate brought everything back. Right. So almost everything.
I'd say Ultimate is the best game.
Yeah.
The actual fighting and the actual game.
Right. And they try to balance it and everything.
Yeah.
This will never be balanced.
No. But there's a lot more to Smash than just the fighting.
Just like how Mario Kart Wii has life after the Wii is dead, the homebrew community is insane. They have 3 major modding projects, which is of course Project M, which has been evolved into Project Plus and Project Plus EX. And I've downloaded them both. And they run off of the disc, but on a homebrewed Wii, and it works well, honestly. There might be a crash or two, but in general, I'm playing fully modded Wii. You don't need a Dolphin emulator for that. It works like this on the Wii. It's really cool.
Which one do you like the most, Project M or?
I like Project Plus.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
But Project EX is even more bloated. It's crazy. we've reached the end, believe it
You're
or not.
welcome.
Yeah. So this is a choice that we made because out of our friendship, this is the one that we've talked about the most. We've played together a lot.
Yeah.
It actually was the bookend to our Wii before he plugged in the Wii U. We literally did that as like a Viking funeral.
Really? That's funny.
This is literally what we did. You can't beat these games in emotion or replayability. Some of the best Mario, period.
Yeah. Mario Galaxy is beautiful. That's a joke. That's an inside joke about a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I remember pre-ordering this at GameStop, and I got a special coin commemorating like the release of Mario Galaxy. Because there's, everybody thinks there's a ton of Mario games, but as far as mainline 3D Mario games, there's only one every. There's only one every console generation, so that's every 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, this is rare that this ever happened.
That was an exception.
This was allegedly supposed to be DLC for this, but they were like, we have too many ideas. Yeah. New game.
Even better, I'd say.
Yeah.
I love both. And then if you pre-ordered this, you got a call from Charles Martinet, Mario, the voice of Mario, calling you on your phone. And at that time, I think I had like a Razor, Nokia Razor or something like that. And I got a call being like, hey, it's Mario. Motorola, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Hey, it's Mario. Like, come pick up. I'm not going to do the Mario voice. Hey, come pick up Mario Galaxy tomorrow at GameStop. It'll be ready. And I was just like, Mario called me, bro. Like, Mario called me. What the fuck? He's real. Now he's Chris Pratt. So, but yeah. But we both played this independently, but we played the hell out of this one together. And do you remember when we played the last, like...
It's called the Grand Finale Galaxy,
something
I think.
Like that, yeah.
Which is a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet galaxy where it's super long. If you die at any point in between the beginning and end, you go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's the whole point. It's like, okay, there's 120 stars in this entire game. This is the 121st star. Yeah. If you don't beat this, you'll never finish the game. Yeah. And we're just like, fuck that. We're gonna beat this game.
We must have spent like 8 to 10 hours trying.
We did it a long time
just to beat
Galaxy. No, it was 8 to 10 hours because we did like 4-hour session and we could not beat it in one day.
So
I came back a second day.
It was so difficult.
And the way we did it is we took turns on different sections we were better at. Like I would be like, okay, trade, and you took it, and then we finished, and then I think ultimately you finished it.
No, it was absurd.
But it was beautiful
I'd like to revisit that and see if we could. We could
Yeah.
probably beat it pretty
Watch it
easily.
be like, yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard, yeah.
But no, it is though, because it has like motion controls, and it's mainly because you have like, I forgot if you have to do it in one hit or something also.
Whatever it was super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are two of the greatest 3D platformers of all time. Two of the greatest platformers, period.
Yes.
I'm partial to Mario Galaxy 2 because I think the inventiveness is increased, and it took out all like the middleman of like the hub and all this stuff like that. That's fun, and I love that, but this is just like pure 3D Mario platforming and so good.
Yeah.
Just both of them are just 10 out of 10.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that is Demir's Wii collection. And I'm so glad that we got to speak about one of the best consoles with just so many underrated gems, so many big classics like Twilight Princess, Mario Galaxy, Brawl, Donkey Kong, and great ports of third-party PS2 GameCube games. I mean, it had
a surprisingly good amount.
It had something for everybody. I hate to say that term, but it had something for everybody, and it really helped break the medium of gaming into the mainstream of being something that for everybody, not just late 20s, early 20s men. Yeah,
not just for
people like
not
us.
Just for like incels or shit like that. Like it's cool for families, and I'm a fan of the wholesome content. Honestly, that's what makes it accessible.
Yeah. We've both had sex, just for the record. Not with each other.
cut it right there.
Good.
So yeah, just so many. One of my favorite games, one of my Metroid Prime, Mario. I mean, so many classics, and this video runs long because there's so much to say.
So many great games, and there's so much to say about it. But maybe we embellished on anecdotes, admittedly. But like
that's what games are about.
I'm sure you have your own if you played half as many games as we did.
Yeah, you definitely have played at least one of these. If that one game is just Wii Sports, then at least you've played that. and it's one of the great consoles. And it was a pleasure to have you on Yusuf Plays. Thank you to our
Thank you.
wonderful audience. I'll see you next time.